14 things to consider when starting a business. Almost everyone dreams of having their own business. I mean, who doesn't want to have people working for you to generate a huge sum of income flowing day in, day out? Needless to say, the possibility of having a perfect work-life balance. I personally know a lot of people who aspire to be entrepreneurs but end up not going anywhere as they don't know where and how to start. We need to put an end to the fact that a lot of people remain in the dreaming stage, so today, I am here to discuss 14 things you need to consider when starting a business. Before we start, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, click the bell button to be updated with my weekly videos and share with me your thoughts about this content on the comment section below. I am Rajul Kaushik and welcome to my channel. The first thing you need to consider is the nature of the business. You have to think about what you are going to offer. You can take your time deciding on this as you need to ensure that your idea can solve a customer problem and something people would pay money for. After deciding on the nature of the business you'll dive into, you then need to identify your target market. You have to explore the market or the demand of your product or service and carefully identify who your customers are. This is particularly important because it enables a business to direct its resources to those customers with high potential for sales growth, interest in the product and loyalty to the brand. Next is location. One of the most important things needed to start a business is a good location. Let me just emphasize that location is not a one-size-fits-all model. This should be highly dependent on the nature of your business. For example, a retail business is best suited in a well-populated area that is easily accessible. However, that may not be the case for a manufacturing business as its focus is not foot traffic. Manufacturing businesses are focused on having a location where manpower and raw materials are easily available and a location where there is a low-cost electricity, water, taxes and rent. The fourth that we need to consider is the form of business. The three common forms are sole proprietorship, partnership and corporation. To simply put it, sole proprietorship involves just one individual who owns and operates an enterprise while a partnership requires at least two people to own and manage the business. On the other hand, at least 5 people are required to form a corporation who will be called the stockholders. Next is the capital. It is simply not possible for any kind of business to run without money. You will know roughly the amount of capital you would need to start your business depending on the type of business you are starting and the initial costs you would have to pay up for. You have to keep in mind that the business is not only about the initial costs. You should have fluid finances to fund your entire business. I do not mean to burst your bubble, but most businesses will not survive on funds from personal savings alone. At some point, you may have to consider applying for short-term or long-term loans to also cover operational expenses. Sixth is the asset requirements. Different assets are required from different kinds of businesses. Basically, this would be the things you will need for the business to be up and running, such as computers, equipment, furniture, vehicles and so much more. To ensure you'll have everything you'll need, I suggest listing them all down and identify the quantity and the price so you know what to expect when it comes to expenses. Moving halfway through the list, you need to consider lease, renovation and improvements. You will have to decide if you will rent out a space, although many home-based businesses can operate efficiently out of a home office and even out of a garage. In case you do, I suggest consulting with your local realtor about finding a space and negotiate the best terms possible. Also, put into consideration the fact that lessors normally require advance rent and security deposits, which is equal to 3 to 6 months of monthly rent. To add, when renting a space, you have to keep in mind that it is usually bare and would require renovation and improvements. So that's another factor you need to add up when identifying your capital for the business. Next is the suppliers. It is important that you source for suppliers that would be able to provide you with the best quality possible at a lesser cost. To be able to do this, you need to do a lot of research and shortlist local suppliers that would be able to provide you with your requirements. Remember this, never lower your standards and keep on searching until you find the supplier that's most suitable for you. Ninth is operating expenses. As previously mentioned, the cost of putting up a business doesn't end on the initial investment. Trust me, it will continue for quite some time as there will be monthly operating expenses such as salary of staff, rent, supplies, utilities, marketing expenses, etc. I suggest creating a special fund for the operating expense from the get-go that will be equivalent to 6 or 12 months of your monthly expense. Next, you have to decide if you are hiring or outsourcing people. There are pros and cons for both options. If you are hiring your own people, you have to realize the amount of time you have to spend advertising your job vacancy, conducting interviews, training new hires, and basically anything falling under the people management umbrella. However, you can ensure that you can mold these people to be at par with your standards. Outsourcing will save you so much time and energy, but there could be a downside here, which is the expertise and reliability of the staff you will outsource. Your decision depends on your priorities and your resources. Next is registration. Once the majority of these considerations have been taken care of, you would then need to legalize your business by securing documents depending on the requirements in your area. Another consideration I'd like to discuss is opening a bank account for the business. It is highly advisable to open a new bank account solely for the business you are starting. This is to ensure a simplified and accurate record keeping. If you wish to proceed using your personal account for your business, that's fine too. However, don't tell me I didn't warn you. Doing so might be your biggest nightmare with unbalanced sheets and unaccounted expenses. 13th is marketing. No matter how good your products and services are, if you do not have an effective marketing strategy, your business plan will all go down the drain. Marketing allows you to introduce your brand to the market and at the same time, maintain a long-lasting relationship with the audience. There is a wide variety of marketing platforms you can venture into, such as print, radio, television, newsletters, social media, search engine marketing, and a whole lot more. You just have to choose what's best and profitable for your brand and products. Last but not the least is technology. In this day and age, technology is one thing that you can never compromise when starting a business. Whether it is an office equipment or software and applications to monitor and operate your business, you will have to make sure it helps your business to perform in the long run. Again, it doesn't sound easy as it is. You have to make sure that you have the required support for installing, upgrading, or troubleshooting the technology you choose. Also, you have to invest in training so that you can maximize and utilize the technology to further help your business. To wrap up, starting is the most difficult part in running a business, but once everything has been taken care of, your business will take off in no time. Also, in case you still catch yourself lost and stuck, always remember that you just have to start somewhere and everything will slowly fall into the right places. Thank you so much for staying with me. I hope you have learned something and see you on my next video.